So recently, your plant was inaugurated near Kolhapur, which is projected as a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. Can you enlighten us on how is this different than the conventional manufacturing facility?
Most of our companies are quite old. They were started in let's say the oldest one was started in 1910. We just celebrated its centenary just now. The next ones were in the 1940s, 50s. The latest one was in 92. So all these companies, when they expanded or when they modernized off an existing base. In Kolhapur, we got a chance to actually implement on a greenfield project everything that we had learned about, let's say, the Toyota production system or lean management or Six Sigma. All these concepts that were learned in the existing factories, we got to put that in the new factory. So the other thing that we did was that we also looked at just-in-time, single-piece flow. We looked at more intelligent worker who would manage the machines, not only one but maybe 7 or 8. When I say manage the machines, he's not working on the machines, but he's looking after the machine, he's maintaining the machine, he's looking at the tooling, he's planning the parts coming in. So it's a much more value-added activity, and it's a very efficient plant. It's also a very green plant because there's very minimal waste. Even the engines that we test, where fuel is burnt and you test it on a dynamometer, we have regenerative dynamometers so that we produce power and put it back into the grid. So there's a lot of innovative things that we've done there.
So can you tell us something about how your business is tackling the environmental concerns?
Quite a few of our businesses actually pollute. Let's look at diesel engines. They put out exhaust. So there is government regulation in terms of emission norms, and those emission norms are really catching up with the rest of the world in a much faster manner than what the rest of the world did over a period of time. Since we have our own R&D, we invest a lot of money to make sure that our engines are emission compliant. The other thing is really far more softer, in the sense that you have to change the mindset of all your employees to move towards that. So ISO 9000, EMS 18000, all these ISO 18000, all these certifications really help educate your manpower as to what is the environmental need, how do you treat all the materials that go through your factory, including water, air, waste, paper, wood. There's many areas that we look at, chemicals, and this is an ongoing activity. So I would say that we have all the certifications that are necessary, and our people are extremely committed. In fact, quite a few of them in our CSR activities work with children in schools, but basically children are more aware than our generation. So we feel that we are all our employees are quite committed to the environment.
So I would like to ask a few questions about AUSIB and other areas. How do you feel an organization like AUSIB can contribute to growth of US-India trade relationships?
I think any association or organization which has as its objective to bring together two parties, whether they're two people or two organizations or two countries, I think communication, meeting face to face are key things. Of course, out of that come up issues which need to be tackled, and then they need to be handled at the right levels, whether it's in an organization or at the government. And from what I understand, AUSIB has good connectivity into the US government, whether it's the Senate or whether it's the policymakers. And similarly, in India, you have a good connection into the industry as well as the government, whether it's state or central. So I think the activities that take place help a lot in bringing up issues, in communicating, and help people understand each other better. So I think it's good work that is being done.
So can you give us a message to the aspiring entrepreneurs?
There's a difference between a student and an entrepreneur. So a student can go into employment or go into entrepreneurship. I think the main thing that differentiates one from the other is passion and a dream to do something with his life. It also needs a lot of courage, it needs a lot of perseverance, it needs a lot of honesty, integrity. So I think whatever your dream is, pursue it with passion and integrity and you will be successful.
So, and also your views on current management education system.
I think there we have a long way to go. We have some very renowned management institutions like the IIMs in India. They're very good. I would say globally they're quite acceptable. But we also have a mushrooming of institutions both above board and both in the gray area. So I would say that the student has to be careful in choosing where he wants to go. Of course, for the Indian student, the choice is not there because there is far more supply than there is, there's far more demand than there is supply. And India has to really invest in the education system. It has to have a sea change in the way it views a student and the way it views a teacher or a professor. Our teachers and professors are not paid very well, so therefore I think better pay is equal to better quality is my feeling. Similarly, in terms of the student, I think the student needs to be the center of the education system and not the other way around. We need to cater to what the student wants rather than what the university or the college can give. I think the college or the university or the management institution should give whatever the student wants. We kill creativity rather than encourage it. So there's a lot of mindset changes that we need to do. We need to do a lot of investment in infrastructure. We need to upgrade the status of the teacher or the professor, not only monetarily but also in society. So I think there's a sea change. But I think whatever the new minister is doing with the education system is good. It's fresh thinking, and it's still a long way to go because our population is large and young. So we have a huge supply of youngsters coming up to be educated, and I don't think we are really ready to handle all of it.
So how can a management student sharpen his or her learnings?
I think with an open mind. We are what we are as we grow up and how we are brought up by our parents. And more, while in the past it might have been a local situation that you had to be aware of, I think I see a lot of students in Pune who are not from this region. They're from the north, they're from the south, so they're already being exposed to different areas, different languages. He needs to be open. He needs to be able to accept different people in their lives and kind of integrate with them much more easily. If you have very fixed ideas and are not open, then it becomes a little more difficult for you to integrate not only in the educational system or into business or even into society for that matter.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure this would provide useful and meaningful guidance to those of our members who are contemplating investing in India as well as the students community.